It's a minor stagflationary scenario, but with everything going on, so we are stuck in this stagnation in Europe. If we assume that we're going to get tariffs from the US on the European Union in April, somewhere in the second quarter. So this will also then lower growth, will add to inflationary pressure if the EU starts with some retaliation measures. So indeed, there will be slightly higher inflation coming from a trade war, lower growth, and this is stagflation. Not a big deal, and in the end, I think the ECB will always opt to support growth. Why is that? Because they are forced in this situation with so much political instability and uncertainty in Europe. It is, again, the ECB which will have to do the heavy lifting.
Indeed. So we're looking out to see whether or not rising inflation expectations derail some of the ECB's forward planning here. But Carsten, what is the bank's current thinking on where Trump might actually target these tariffs in Europe?
Yeah, I think for us, not for the ECB. I think the ECB is very silent on that one. For us, we expect Trump to actually go all in across the board, so not going for specific sectors, but start really with a 10%, 20% tariff threat on the European Union. Then the European Union might want to answer. I don't think that the European Union will answer with across-the-board tariffs, but will try to then target certain sectors like they did 8 years ago. Back then it was Jack Daniels, Harley Davidson. But in my view, I think this Trump administration will be less transactional than Europe thinks. So Europe is clearly in a weaker negotiation position here.
And does Europe have the policy wherewithal and the policy leverage to be able to push back in the same way that China has, for example, on the United States? How would you characterize Europe's overall negotiation position right now?
Well, it's a split one. When it purely comes to trade and also imposing tariffs on the US, this is the responsibility of the European Commission. I think there Europe is relatively well prepared. When it comes to any deal making, for example, promising the United States to purchase more of this and that, LNG, military equipment, then it's not the European Commission, but then it's up to the individual member states. And here we never stand in unity. So, and I think also instead of focusing just on what's coming out of the Oval Office, Europe should actually do its own homework and start strengthening the domestic economy. And we all know what to do here. This is investing more in the domestic European economy. This is implementing reforms. And I think Europe would be much better advised to do its own homework, to strengthen its own economy, rather than just waiting for anything coming out of DC and reacting to that.